So I got another one here. Welcome back to the Bacon Lodge. We got another snowmobile here. I picked this one up last night from a guy in really good shape. It's a 2015 Skidoo 600 carb sport, I think it is. Let's look at that real quick here. Go over here and see. Yeah, so you can see that. So yeah, it's an MXZ Sport. Really clean sled. The engine took a crap. So basically what happened was it looks like somebody didn't do the ISOFlex grease that's on. You got to do on these things every once in a while. And it burned down the PTO side cylinder, busting the connecting rod and destroying the cylinder. And so it needs a new rod in cylinder and pistons. So I got those ordered up. I'll take it down here. We'll go through it a little bit. Overall, it's really clean. Looks pretty nice. The guy was so nice, he actually pulled the engine on himself and tore it all down. Then sold it to me, which is awesome because then I don't have to do all the teardown. So basically, this video is just going to be me tearing the engine apart and getting it ready for the new parts that I had to order. I'll go through a little bit more overview of the sled itself and looking how clean it is. While you got it up here on the lift, you see the track looks pretty good. A lot better than the one that I had before. It does have studs, which people like. They just destroyed my driveway, so it's a pain in the ass. But other than that, I'm gonna get this thing off and we'll go through it. Thing out of here. I don't usually load the truck. The pictures he had online was really all torn down. He reassembled it so he didn't lose any parts, which is really cool, but kind of makes it a lot heavier. So, it's probably not gonna be the most nice thing ever. Woohoo! This is the engine here. This is the guy I bought it from was debating if he was gonna fix it himself or not, so he ripped it apart, and you can see here that the PTO side rod is completely gone. Like the bottom is not even on there. Usually you'll still have a chunk of it on here, and then the rest of the connecting rod is still connected to here. There's a piston. The piston's all fucked up on the bottom here, and then the cylinder itself has part of the collar broken off, so I got to replace that, and of course get new pistons and rings for it. Got a new crankshaft on order, gasket kit, a couple other things. The reason why these usually break out is there's a seal here, and on the inside of that there's a special type of grease called iso grease. You gotta replace that, they say, every 3,000 miles. A lot of people don't, and then this is what happens. I don't think the bearing's bad though. It feels like it's good. I mean, it could be some other reason, but that's usually it's probably pieces in there that's making it so I can't spin it over easily. So we'll tear it apart and we'll see how those bearings look when we get it all torn apart. Other than that, the other cylinder looks like brand new. It's got perfect cross hatching on it. Let's see if it's kind of hard to show it to you guys, but you can actually see the cross hatching and everything inside there. So we'll really reuse this one. The cylinder head didn't take any damage, which is rare because usually these will get some damage in the domes. This had no damage at all. You see the difference between the ones that were one was washed out from when it was running lean, which would be this one was running lean, so it cleaned it up, whereas the other one isn't. So I don't know if exactly that's why the bearings failed and that's what caused it, but something failed. So we need to fix it up. Like I said, the engine's pretty all clean. What we're going to do in this video is just me tearing this completely down and getting it ready for me to get the new crank and everything to put into it. So it's kind of what we're going to do. I'll kind of go through it over talking to you guys. We'll get it all figured out. Since I'm on this side of the top of the engine, probably first thing I'm going to do is pull this piston off, because why not? We're here. What I have to do is remove the clip in here. Okay, I'm going to try to do this so you can see me do it while I'm working, but not block you too bad. So, there. What I use is a pick tool, just a simple Allen pick tool, and kind of there's a little dip here, and you can go in there and you can get behind the circlip. You have to kind of pry it out. When you do this, I'm covering up now on purpose because otherwise it's going to fly across the room, and I kind of want to save it, so I'll grab it with a pair of pliers. And there's your circlip. So pull it out to one side, and then I take a 3/8" extension, and I run it from the other side and just tap it through with a hammer. I don't really care too much about the connecting rod or anything like that right now because this is all going to be replaced. The piston and everything. Even making sure I didn't lose that circlip wasn't important, but I just like to make sure they don't fly across the room. And then you have your cage bearing here. Just put it back in there, and you have the piston all removed. We're gonna take out this starter and engine bracket here. So I pulled one of the bolts out already here, and we're gonna keep working on the other ones. I'll get these off. If you like this type of content, make sure you give me a like and subscribe. Trying to do more of these snowmobile ones. I know it seems like I'm only doing skidoo. It's honestly just the ones I've been able to find that have been worth buying. Everything else has just been crazy priced right now, so can't get a good price on anything, so I'm not going to spend the extra money. So let me get these taken apart real quick here. We'll get the starter out here. We'll get these. So I don't know if I said it already, but I'm pretty sure what happened to this engine is it failed because of the iso grease. You have to redo it every, they say 3,000 miles or so. I'm going to actually do a video pretty soon about doing that on another sled that actually sled I just put on there. And I just happened to notice these are the rave valves. You can see there not. There's a giant hole in that one. Oh, so evidently this one got taken out by the engine when it broke apart. So we'll have to get a new one of those too. Sorry, I know I'm jumping all over the place here, but I just saw it because it was in front of my face. I try to put the bolts back where they come out of, that way I don't lose them. As long as they're not going to be in the way later on. Okay. Okay, I'm going to remove that bolt that I was talking about putting in there because I'm going to smash my hand on it. Let me know what type of sled would you like to see besides the skidoo if I get a chance to do it. Are there a lot of Polaris guys out there? Arctic Cat, Yamaha? You can go older if you wanted to, but usually my rule of thumb of buying one is if I'm not willing to ride it, I'm not going to buy it, so probably won't be too old of styles. There were a few Polarises that were up for sale, but they were a little bit more than I wanted to spend on something that's got a blown engine or something like that. Like I said, let me know what you guys like, and I'll try to get something and show you, fix up something besides the skidoos. Kind of a little crappy right now. It's we're in December, and we had about 10 inches of snow. It's December 25, and it's 47 degrees and rainy today, so most of the snow is gone, which kind of sucks. Got a swivel wrench in here, and see if maybe that'll help out. Jeez Louise. I don't know why it had to be quite so tight. It's easier because I can use the impact. This one has, actually, those two can actually stay on there because they don't split the seam of the jacket. So I'm gonna leave the oil pump on it because we shouldn't have to take that off. So we can leave the water pump on too. Okay. Let's see if there's something wrong with it, but I'll have to see if the seal kit comes with a new water pump seal. We'll pull that one off to make sure everything's good. But I don't think that's what's causing it. There's two bolts facing topward that are Allen keys. Okay, so I just took a second and made a bolt holder for it. So basically when I pop the bolts out of the engine, I'm going to put them right into the holes that correspond to them. And if I forgot any, I'll just make more holes. So that's what we're going to do. First, we're going to start... well, I'm jumping the gun quite a bit here. We're not going to do that yet. We're not going to take out the bottom engine yet because we have to take apart the whole Magneto side. I apologize. Okay, so we got to take off this Magneto. First thing is the starter gear for the recoil. So you're going to be those guys right there. That takes off the recoil cup. Next thing we got to do is take off the, which is a 30 millimeter. Oh, wrong button. Okay, get that off. Take off the washer. In case you didn't know, the head bolts for these are the right size. Let's remove this. And I just have a harmonic balancer puller here. What you do is you just, so it's long enough. And when you thread these in here, do not thread, you got to thread them in pretty far, but if you thread them too deep, they can get into the stator. So don't do that. So go through and make sure you got them in there pretty good, but just about as deep as you think the piece of metal is itself. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to, once you get one in there, you got to try to even them out so they're all pulling evenly. You can tell they're pretty even because if it's touching all three of them and it's the driver is pretty much centered on there, you're pretty close to even. In fact, I'm going to run it tight, and it probably won't pop off. It won't. If it doesn't pop off, I'll show you a way to help with that. That's as tight as I can get it to go. With the impact, take a hammer and you usually pop off if you get it to do it right. People turn on me. You may have to take and heat up in here some too, which I think we're going to have to do this time. Usually that shocking it with the hammer will get it to fly completely off. Anyhow, usually it'll fly off. That time it didn't, but it's off of there. Now you don't have to do this, but I like to reassemble this on here so you don't lose any of these bolts. Now the stator is in here. We gotta undo the 3 bolts for the stator. There's the pickups over here. We're gonna take this outside ring off first to make it a little bit easier to get to. So recoil starter ring. Get that off. In here, there's the 2 pickups. You can see them over by my thumb there. I'll put arrows in there. And they're glued to the side, so you got to remove the bolts and you got to kind of pry them off to the side to get those off of there. I'm just kind of trying to cut the caulk RTV or whatever it is. Problem is that there's one on top and one on bottom, so that's why you can't just leave it in there. You got to get one of them to come off. Okay, now it's all free. Okay, let's see that. So I got the one side to come off, so we'll leave that off. We'll just rebolt the bottom one back in there. Now, when we pull the bolts out, we're going to put them in this piece of paper that I have made up with all the holes in it. So one at a time, we'll pull them out and put them on there. And they're all 11s, and there's one Allen key over here. If you can see that. There's one Allen key on this side, which I believe is going to be that 5mm again. Now, I know you're never supposed to use a chrome socket on a impact, but I don't got any black ones, so we're going to do it this way. And you're going to start from the middle and work your way out. Looks like you're gonna stay. Okay, now we gotta separate the two halves. How are we gonna do that with that top facing up? I'm gonna try to just tap on these mounting thing here, but may not have been the smartest thing to do. Okay, note to self: remember to pull the stator off before you try to actually pull this thing apart. Break it to half, because it won't work unless the stator's off there. So I just reinstalled the 2 new bolts, pulled the stator off. Now it should hopefully come apart much easier. That's much easier. Okay. This side. And I should have remembered that, but lots of stuff to remember. But there is quite. Oh, what is that? Quite a bit of grease in here where I thought it was going to be nothing. The rest of it looks okay. Needs to be cleaned really well, but that top looks good. Okay, I want to see how bad these grains are. There's actually quite a bit of grease still left in here. Kind of nasty. There's a bunch of debris around the bottom of this cylinder. A little bit of a scrape there. It goes all the way through. It might go all the way through. It does go all the way through. Son of a biscuit. I'm gonna have to get a new bottom end. Well, that kind of sucks. Now you get to look for a new bottom end for this. Spinning the bearing here. Oh, you can see that. You can't see it. Spinning the bottom end. So it wasn't the bearings that failed, so don't know why that bearing failed. So, okie dokie. That'll be it for this video. I do appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to get some parts ordered up for this, some more parts ordered up for this, and we will get this all fixed up, and I'll show you, hopefully, in the new year, we'll get this all running and going good. Thanks. Thank you for watching once again. May God bless you, and you have a great day.